Hello again everyone, and welcome back to Crochet Rocks. My name's Tracy, and today I'm going to show you how to make the solid granny square. Now there's two versions of a solid granny square. There's this one where you get the row of gaps away along the corners, and one where you don't. I'm going to make this one with you today, and it's made with a chain centre which gives you this little hole. It's made with a DK weight yarn, a 5mm crochet hook, and I've got my snippers at the ready. Now I'm going to use my good old faithful blue yarn. It's not the only yarn I have, I assure you. It's just that it looks shows up really well on tutorials. So this one's made with a chain centre, as I said, so we need to chain 4, and we start with a slip knot. This is how I do mine, but I do have a tutorial on the easy way to make a slip knot and the magic ring, so if you want to watch that first, familiarise yourself with that, then please do. So we need a chain of 4, and to do that we yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through. So we have 4 chain, and I'm going to join it by slip stitching into the very first chain. So we insert our hook into that chain and yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook. So now you've made this tiny little ring. It does look very small, but it will get a little bit bigger as we work into it. Now most tutorials and patterns will tell you to do 3 turning chain, and that is to get you up to the right height for these treble crochets. That's treble crochet in UK terms. It's a double crochet in US terms, but I'm going to work in this video throughout with UK terms. Now personally I think 2 chain is enough, so that is the height of my treble, and I'm also going to do 2 extra chain which will constitute this gap area. You can do 1 if you think that gap is too big. So into the centre of the ring we're now going to do 3 treble crochets, and remember that's in UK terms. So we yarn over into the centre of the ring, yarn over and pull up a loop. So we've got 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's our first treble. We're going to do that again, yarn over into the centre of the ring and yarn over, pull through 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's the second one. Again, yarn over into the centre of the ring, yarn over and pull through. We've got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's our first group of 3 trebles, and there you can see the ring has already got a little bit bigger. So just as I said we had 2 chain there, we now make 2 chain, and then we do another group of 3 trebles. So let's yarn over into the hole, yarn over and pull through. I always tighten that off a little bit because it gets a bit baggy. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we're going to do that 2 more times. If I get too fast for you, you can always pause my video and catch up. So now we've got 2 lots of 3, and it might be advisable just to pull them across so you've got more of this ring showing. 2 more chain, and then another group of 3. Oh, slipped out of my hand. So that's another group of 3. Pull some yarn. It's always handy if you can to make sure you've got enough yarn pulled out, because if you allow it to get a little tight, it will affect your tension. It will pull on it, and then your stitches will be smaller. So we do our 2 chain. Now this is where it gets a little bit different. This 2 chain here is our first treble, and we need to make 2 more in the ring to join it. That's 1 and 2. So that is now, with that one, 3 chain. So how we join that is not this is the first chain, this is the second one. So we go in and we slip stitch into there, and now we have like a little square forming, and that chain forms the third treble. Okay, so this time we do 2 chain, and now we're into a corner. We make a corner by doing 2 treble, 2, lost count, and then 2 chain, and then another 2 treble in the same hole. Get some more yarn out, getting all stuck there. So now you can see we have this 1 treble, and then we've got a corner. And now we need to do 1 treble in each of our 3. So what you've got to do is you've got to pull this over slightly so you can see where you're going into that one. So we do 1 in there. That one always gets a little bit hidden, so you need to just pull your work over a little way to see it. Otherwise you can easily miss that one. Oops. So now we're in those 3, so we're now back at the corner, which will be 2 trebles. Just sorry, I was resting on my yarn and making it a little bit so it didn't run freely. 2 treble, 2 chain, and 2 trebles for the corner. And then pull that over a little bit so you can see the first one, and we'll go into those 3. If I go ahead of you at any time, then just pause the video and catch up. Sorry, I got interrupted there, so where am I? Oh yes, into the last one. And we're back at the corner to do 2 treble, 2 chains, and 2 trebles. And we just do that. In our last one, I'm going to pause the video and meet you back here. Okay, so I've made my last corner, and you can see I've just got these trebles here to do, and as I say, sometimes it gets a little bit buried. So we've got 1 there and 1 there. Now this one belongs to here, so that is our first treble, so we don't need to do 1 in there, and we just slip stitch into it to finish that round. So here we are. So where we started off with the 3, we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 along the edge. Now the edge will grow by these 2 every time, so I think the next one you'll have 11. So let's do that. We'll make 2 chain. Now that's this particular one, so we need to go into this treble and this treble, and then make our corner exactly the same as before with 2 trebles, 2 chain, and 2 treble. And then we'll pull that aside, make sure we get into that first one, and we just simply go into each and every one along this side and do a treble crochet. I'm getting a lot of yarn out here. Okay, so we're nearly back at the corner. There we are. So we'll count them. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 will be this half of the corner. So it was 11. and we'll just make the corner as before. Pull this one aside to get that one and carry on all the way along, do the corner all the way along, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I'm almost back at the start again. So I'm just at this one, and pull that aside and do my treble crochet in there. That should be my last one. And if you're ever in doubt, just count them, just in case I've gone into the wrong one. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that will tell you that you have gone into the right one. And then we slip stitch into this one. And sometimes if you slip stitch there, just in where you can see, it doesn't look as good as unless you can grab that front post. It's very tricky, it takes a little bit of doing, and then going into this back one. Can't always do it, it's very tight sometimes, but that would sometimes look a little bit better if you could do that. It's hard to see it, it's not going to let me do it. If you do that top chain a little loose, then that sometimes helps. There you are, so there you go, and I'll just show you how that looks compared to the other one. It's not a great deal of difference really, but it's just going into a different part of the chain. So that is how this particular granny square grows. It just grows by these two every time. So instead of having 11, it will just keep growing and growing and growing. So I'll do another row with you, another round, 2 treble, and then into this one. See how you think if we had 3 chain, to me it would just be too high, and they match perfectly as 2. 3 always seems to have that little bit of an extra curve that doesn't belong to me. And I guess it depends, that some people have really loose tension and perhaps they would need 3 to be the length of their treble crochet, but mine is the length of a 2. So now we're at the corner. Do the corner exactly the same way. 2 more in there. And then pull it aside. And carry on. I made a baby blanket for my grandson with different colour solid granny squares and sewed them all together, and it was really pretty. All different colour blues. Very effective. It's a nice closer granny square than the ones that have the 3 like shell with the holes. It's a little bit more well, I guess chunky for the winter months, but I think it also if you use a finer yarn, it can look really quite delicate. It's quite pretty. Just make sure you use a corresponding hook if you drop down to a 4-ply, which I believe in the US is called a sport weight. I think it's called a sport weight. So there we go, just carry on. And we're now back at the corner. So I'm going to pause the video now and meet you back at the start. Okay, so I'm almost back at the start. Got another couple of treble crochets to do. And then we can join it with the slip stitch, which I will just go in the easy way to showing you that one. So there we have it. That's how you make the solid granny square, and all you need to do is kind of like tease it into shape a little more if you want to, but you can carry on, just carry on going and going. That round was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you can see it just grows exponentially. That's a good word, isn't it? So the first one I made, this one was with a rougher yarn. It was one that came free with a magazine, and I just had this little ball knocking around, and it's kind of has a different effect, I think, than this one. Much softer and much nicer. So that's how you make the solid granny square, and you can just keep going as big as you like. I possibly will do the other one where it's completely enclosed and you don't get these holes, just to show you what that's like. But for now, that's all. If I could ask you to perhaps like and share this video and subscribe to my channel. Just click on that notification bell and you'll get informed when there's new videos. And do check out my huge giveaway that's going on at the moment, and there will be more and more coming. So thank you very much for watching, and for now, bye bye.